I have been in prison for nearly 4 years, under arrest on 3 separate and consecutive charges. The first charge was related to the protests that sparked and spread around Turkey in 2013 against a construction project in Gezi Park at downtown Istanbul. The park happens to be near my office, and it's a place where I visited frequently, like many other residents of Istanbul. Then I was accused of planning, financing, and directing the Gezi protests. I was acquitted of this fantastic charge after months of imprisonment. On the day I was acquitted, I was rearrested on the second charge with the allegation that I had a relationship with an American academic who was allegedly involved in the organization of the aborted coup attempt of July 2016. The European Court of Human Rights ruled that my detention was not based on any evidence. It constituted a violation of the several articles of the European Convention of Human Rights, and that I should be released immediately. After this ECHR decision became final, I was arrested on a third charge, espionage.
We established a cultural organization called Anadolu Kültür, and our idea was to work outside Istanbul. We thought that there are lots of things happening in Istanbul, so we should do something in Anatolia, in Anatolian cities. And our first destination was Diyarbakır, center of the Kurdish region with a strong cultural heritage. So we established an art center there, and we hosted quite a number of contemporary art exhibitions there. We did film screenings, panel discussions. We asked curators to go there to talk with the local artists. And there are, in fact, some quite good, quite strong contemporary artists living in that region. So we wanted to contribute to the development of the artistic life there. I mentioned you about the military rule in 1980. That military rule continued much longer in that region. There was what was called emergency law. So the governors had the authority to ban, to stop whatever activities they thought not so appropriate for the security.
The charges against me included gathering information about minorities in Turkey under the guise of NGO activities, disclosing this information to foreign governments, and attempting to disrupt the relations between the minority groups and the state. Civil society activities in the field of art and culture of Anadolu Kültür, an organization of which I am the chairman of the board, were thus associated with espionage. As stated by the decision of the European Court of Human Rights and several subsequent decisions of the Committee of Ministers of the European Council, there is no concrete evidence supporting these allegations. The bill of indictment does not include any evidence, but only conspiracy theories about George Soros inciting the Arab Spring and similar social movements, and the use of non-governmental organizations by foreign intelligence services. As in the similar cases of other people, what I have been through is a striking example of the political influence on the judiciary and the erosion of legal norms in Turkey. The allegations in the 2 bills of indictment prepared against myself also reflect a mental state which has deviated from rational thought. Democratic protests are considered to be staged by foreign powers. The discussion of the problems of minorities and cultural and artistic activities addressing these problems are seen as serving the interests of foreign states. These are not determined by the prejudices of the prosecutors. They rather reflect a way of reasoning shaped by the prevailing environment of politics and political discourse.
In 1983, after the decease of my father, I started working in the company. In 1980, there was a military takeover in Turkey. There was a military period which was rather bad for the civil life, for democratic organizations, media, and so on. So in 1983, together with some colleagues, we decided to launch a journal called Yeni Gündem. Then my colleagues, my friends, developed that into a publishing house. So this place downstairs, it was used as a warehouse for this publishing house until recently, when we decided to convert this place into a cultural center.
This type of political discourse derives from essentialist ideologies of domination, where people whose identities, beliefs, or ideas are different from those of the majority are not considered as equal members of the society, and pluralism, mixing, and hybridization are considered to be a threat to religious and national values. If we can react together when people whose ideas, beliefs, and identities are different from ours are not treated equally before the law, cannot benefit from public services equally, and are subjected to discriminatory or degrading treatment, we can significantly prevent the judiciary from being influenced by politics or ideology. I believe that contributing to the development of such a reflex of reacting against the injustices faced by others is an important part of the mission of non-governmental organizations.
Because we can have audience, we can have people from different walks of life, and it brings about really a new synergy, more universal, more critical, something needed for the transformation.
The international dimensions of the question of justice are extremely important. Conscious individuals who, as citizens of the world, are concerned with the problems of people in different countries and who develop worldwide networks of solidarity could invalidate the foreign enemy discourse used in authoritarian politics. I also believe it is essential that the rich countries where democracy and the rule of law are in force follow principled foreign policies and take more responsibility for the solution of the social and political problems that force millions of people to migrate to other countries. Civil initiatives such as the Action for Hope remind us of the importance of both such civil society initiatives and the principled foreign policy action. They make us feel the power created by being together.